with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of Health and the only member of Trump's cabinet to be reheated in an air fryer. Earlier this week, Kennedy abruptly fired all 17 members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee, which understandably caused a lot of concern among people who prefer not to die from an old-timey Oregon Trail disease. But RFK Jr.'s got a new batch of doctors to replace them with, so I'm sure they're all equally qualified. So let's get to know some of these vaccine experts.
Some of the picks are well-known vaccine critics, including Dr. Robert Malone.
Robert Malone, who's claimed that millions of Americans were hypnotized into taking the COVID-19 shots and has suggested those vaccines cause a form of AIDS.
I think I liked this guy a lot better when he was just selling us Dos Equis. I don't always take vaccines, but when I do, they give me AIDS. Look, this guy's obviously crazy, but you can't deny there was some hypnosis going on during the pandemic. Like, we were washing our hands every day? Like, what was that all about? But forget the Department of Health. Let's move on to the great work being done by Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, and the only Hawaiian who can make aloha sound like a threat. She decides which of America's secrets need to stay secret, but lately she's been getting some help.
Tulsi Gabbard, head of DNI, says the government is now using artificial intelligence to speed up its work in determining which documents can be declassified and released to the public. That includes files related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
Cool. That technology we're all scared of and have no idea how dangerous it is. Let's teach it how to kill a president. What could go wrong? Also, why are you having AI read the JFK files for you? AI is for tedious things. These are the most exciting documents in the government. It's like asking AI to watch all the sex scenes in a porno so you can focus on whether the pizza got delivered. Maybe I've been using AI wrong this whole time. I thought it was for doing my kids' homework and seeing what I look like as Shrek. Wow. Stay thirsty, my friends. Let's move on to Pete Hegs, Secretary of Defense and guy whose favorite cologne is roofie. He's been axing a bunch of medical research programs for veterans that he claims are boondoggles. But when Senator Dick Durbin called him out on it yesterday, he gave a specific example of waste, and it was very specific.
Give me an example of a boondoggle in medical research in defense health.
I mean, we're talking about some stuff I shouldn't say in public. You know, marbles in the rear ends of cats, tens of millions of dollars.
Sometimes I hear about science experiments and I think, God, I am so glad when I was growing up, no one was telling women they should be scientists. Really dodged a bullet there. To be fair, they were trying to find out why Garfield hates Mondays. Now they know. Now they know. Also, anyone who has cats knows that this isn't the weirdest idea ever. I mean, they are constantly showing us their buttholes. At some point, someone's going to be like, all right, let me try something. But in case you're wondering who would fund such a ridiculous study, that would be President Trump himself. In 2020, his Defense Department said it was part of a revolutionary new treatment for spinal cord injuries. And that's the thing about science. It's easy to make it sound made up and stupid. It's not airtight like the Bible. And someone who just wants to cut funding can trivialize any research because, yeah, trying to make dogs salivate by ringing a bell sounds weird, but it proved an important point that dogs love bells, I think. I don't know, I failed psych. But this is a great example of how anti-science the Trump administration is. When Pete Hegseth talks about science, he makes it sound stupid. And when RFK Jr. talks about it, he makes it sound like someone dropped a fork in the garbage disposal.